Hello and welcome to the Shifty Crab Podcast. Oh, it feels good. It feels good to not be on my own. Feels good to have someone here with me. You may not be able to see him because in true Shifty Crab style, the camera for Vince is not working, but god damn, you're going to be able to hear him. It is the best beard in the business, Mr. Vince Haley. Vince, thank you for being here.
Oh, what a lovely day to do a podcast.
In the neighborhood.
Wonderful day in the neighborhood.
Oh, it's wonderful day, not lovely day. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yes, we are back for the podcast. We had a week off. Was it a week? It was a week, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was a week.
Week off. Terry got the wrong day, so that was a good start. So we may potentially be moving the podcast day, but we'll keep you updated on that. But you are going to have some time with me and Vince. We're going to talk about everything we've been watching, playing, eating, doing. Everything that we can think of and to entertain you for the next couple of hours. But Vince, how are you?
Oh, doing great. You know what's going to make it even better?
What is it?
Hang on.
Oh, he's on the blue moon.
On the blue moon.
He is on the blue moon.
Day.
I've missed the sound of that bottle popping.
Me too. It's been, I haven't drank in probably a couple weeks at this point, especially blue moon. That's not true. It's probably been it's probably been a couple weeks. Holy shit.
It is the podcast drink of choice.
It really is my drink of choice, of course, but
100%
lovely.
Your drink of choice.
We're going to get sponsored one day.
That would be the dream.
I love it. That would be the dream.
I would love that sponsorship. Please, Blue Moon, if you're watching this, if you're one of our many fans, please, just sponsor us. I'll sell my soul. I'll wear Blue Moon t-shirt. I'll drink out of a Blue Moon glass. I'll drink Blue Moon, and I do. I enjoy it.
It's very good.
It is very good. But
very good.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not. Yeah, I'm not drinking today. It's a weird one. I was thinking about it, and then when you think, oh, I need to go get myself a drink.
Yeah.
Then I forget to go get myself a drink, and then I start getting ready for the stream, and then I'm like, I forgot to get the drink. So no alcohol for me today. But man, there seems to have been quite a bit of news. News for us to talk about.
A lot of things have happened.
A lot of things have happened. A lot of things have happened indeed. I'm going to do a bit of the housekeeping stuff first. As you've seen for the last week, I've been streaming on my own for the last week. So we've got stuff on this channel. I've been doing a Football Manager. So if you want to, all the VODs are back there for you to watch. It's been really fun. We've had a great community just chatting along and having a laugh, seeing me fail miserably, which we do in most games anyway, so there's nothing new there. But if you want to go back and see that, me and Vince will be jumping back into It Takes Two very, very soon to continue our adventures through divorce.
Adventures through divorce.
Our adventures through divorce. Yeah. And that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that game.
Me too. I can't wait to get back into it too, because it only gets better as the thing, right? Those first few levels are a really good taste of what's to come. Oh, and it just keeps getting better.
Yeah, I really enjoyed my time with that. It was a lot of fun. But so that's kind of the housekeeping. You find us over on Twitter at CrabShifty, where we'll let you know when we're going live. Or if you're watching this on Twitch, head over to YouTube at Shifty Crab. And if you're watching this on YouTube, head over to our Twitch at Shifty Crab Plays. I think that's everything. That's everything. We know what you're drinking.
We do.
Vince,
we know you're not.
We know I'm not.
Yeah.
But Vince, we've had we said there's been a lot of news. Did you see the Spider-Man news today?
Yes, Across the Spider-Verse got delayed.
Well, that was a little while ago.
Yeah. And then we got the title Beyond the Spider-Verse for the third film.
Yeah, there was that. And then did you see the other Spider-Man news?
How much Spider-Man news can be released in 1 week? What has happened?
A lot, apparently. Did you see the El Muerto news.
El Muerto?
So,
No.
a Spider-Man spin-off starring Bad Bunny as Marvel's first live-action Latino lead, El Muerto. He's the one that's dressed like a lucha libre wrestler.
And is this going to be part of the Sony Spider villain verse?
They haven't said. No, he's a hero.
Oh,
I
okay.
think. Oh no, he's a villain. I think. I don't. All I know is he barely ever appeared in the comics. I think he had like 2 runs in the comic.
Give it on Google.
Yeah, so Bad Bunny is going to be playing El Muerto.
El Muerto Spider-Man.
Yeah, Sony announces. Have you got it? Because I can send you a link if you...
Let's see. Standalone Marvel pick for Sony. Yeah, 19 hours ago via Deadline.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Skip ad. Ads, man.
IGN have a lot of ads. I don't know if that's where you're watching it, but...
Interesting. Yeah, looks like it's gonna be January 12th, 2024. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, looks like it's gonna be a standalone film. Okay.
Yeah, it is going to be a film. So that's it looks like it's going to be... It's an interesting take on it anyway. Like, I'll be interested to see what they do. Bad Bunny obviously has had some hit songs over the last few years. He's also wrestled in WWE.
Okay, so not a bad choice.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be real.
He does love wrestling. He's a huge fan. So I'm guessing from the action side of things, he should be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a decent boom of wrestlers turn actor, and it's done well for them. Right, like The Rock,
John Cena,
more recently John Cena.
Yeah, there's been some bad.
Well,
ones,
I'm not forgetting his name.
There's
been some bad ones. Yeah,
there's The Miz, there's Randy Orton, there's Roman Reigns, there's Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, they've all been in films.
It's not for everybody, but you know.
No, it is not. But he's obviously mainly known for a Grammy-winning Latin rap artist, and then he's gone over to wrestling as a bit of like Logan Paul did for WrestleMania. He wrestled at WrestleMania, and he's been like the celebrity guest and stuff like that. And now he's obviously going into films. He's also been in some TV. I think it was in Narcos and stuff like that. So he has acted before.
It's not bad. I mean, if he's got the chops for it, why not, right?
Exactly.
It just worries me that it's Sony, right?
Oh, whatever Sony do film-wise, I worry. But
yeah, apparently Morbius very bad.
Yeah, like who'd have thought?
Right. No one could have seen that coming.
No, yeah, no. It's so weird because Jared Leto has done some really good films. That has to be said, but he is also such a weird person, and if the allegations about him are true, then he's a horrible person too. But
right.
He still gets cast in so many prominent things.
A lot of things. I know we're kind of seeing like the decline of Ezra Miller as well because he's
in Hawaii,
obviously done some very shitty things.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things, man. I think Jared Leto, regardless of accusations, he's a decent actor from what I've seen him in, right?
Yeah.
Granted, that's only been 2016 Suicide Squad and Blade Runner 2049, which Blade Runner 2049 he did fairly well. Like, I'll give that to him. Great film.
Yeah. He has been in some good films. Like, even going further back, and I know me and Terry always joke about your film, like, history and stuff like that.
That's not great.
But he has been in a lot of decent films. Like, he was really good in, like, Fight Club and stuff like that. So, what else? Like, Requiem for a Dream, and he's been in a lot of good things. But he's just a douche.
Yeah.
Like, he's basically a cult leader as well. There's like Camp Mars, and he stands there in like white robes and stuff like that, and basically it's just teenage girls who go to this thing, and they all just like worship him at his feet. There's videos of it. It's really weird.
Very weird.
Very weird. But then it's such a weird thing. Like, obviously you've got the Jared Leto stuff, who has obviously done and is still a part of, I guess, spoilers, the DC world. Whether that's progressed any further from what we saw obviously in the Snyder Cut and stuff like that, but he's obviously been a big part of that, playing the Joker. And then you see he's obviously over in Sony Marvel doing Morbius. Right. But then you've got Ezra Miller in The Flash, obviously DC, and they are still staying very quiet about Ezra Miller. But then
they haven't really said much about anything.
Yeah, they haven't said anything yet about it. But then you look at obviously the ongoing court case at the moment between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, which is ridiculous if you pay attention to it. Like, it could be a film, like everything that's going on in that. And Johnny Depp, obviously, we don't know what's true and what's not, but there's been accusations made against him. But on tape, Amber Heard is admitted to also domestically abusing Johnny Depp. And I'm not saying tit for tat or anything like that. And I'm not saying Johnny Depp was taken out of the Fantastic Beast films. He's also been taken out of the Pirates of the Caribbean films. So he is being punished and whatever, probably rightly so. But Amber Heard is still doing Aquaman 2. And Warner Brothers aren't saying anything about her. And it's come out about all of her drug issues and her domestic violence towards Johnny Depp. And nothing's being done. And then you see the Ezra Miller stuff and nothing's being done. And it's like DC kind of have to say something at some point.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it really comes down to DC in general, right? Because we've had here recently, I don't know if you saw the other kind of Fantastic Beasts news, other than that film is also trash. But they've pretty much put future projects of that franchise on hold. Because of Warner Brothers has.
Yeah.
Not necessarily...
Or because the film was shit.
They didn't really say exactly, but they were going to see how the third film does before they move on with plans for future films. Which it could be a mix of, J.K. Rowling shit, the whole Ezra Miller stuff. It could be a multitude of things on that end. But it really does come down to not just the people who are developing, producing these movies, but really just the studios themselves kind of looking and being like, okay, maybe we should probably distance ourselves from these people.
Yeah.
Or not, because they are problematic, and just kind of sit there and ho-hum about it is doing a very much a disservice to people who have been through those similar situations of abuse and assault and things like that. So, I mean, I guess time will tell, but hell, they probably already have 90% of the Flash movie done, 80% at the most.
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? Like that film's pretty much ready to go, and you'd have to get Keaton back and stuff like that. That's
I mean, they could do reshoots, but we've been looking at a Flash movie for
a couple of years.
Years, probably since Batman vs Superman. Around the time they probably announced their supposed slate at the time, and it's obviously been years in the making. They've already poured a shit ton of money into that film. Especially get Keaton back. He's probably not as much of a hard get now as he would have been. Yeah. But pouring that much into it and then pouring more into it for either recasting or reshoots to lessen Ezra Miller's presence, which is going to be hard to do because it's supposed to be a very centric film around his character. Even though the chances are we're going to get probably multiple Barry Allens or multiple versions of the Flash character, it's going to have to be centered around him in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
It might be too late to pump the brakes on that.
Yeah, probably, because they have shareholders, don't they? So they'll have to release.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see as the weeks go on one, if Ezra Miller gets arrested again, like,
Right.
because it seems to be almost a monthly thing at the moment, and two, what happens with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp in their trial. I think there's going to be a lot of fallout for that, and that's obviously going to be going on for about another month or so. So it's going to be a lot of press attention on it, and I think DC are going to have to think long and hard, I think, about some of their decisions going forward.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be hard to put these films out because you got to think they hope just because of the names in them, right? Like, aside from, Amber Heard and Aquaman, you also have Jason Momoa and Aquaman. And people are probably going to go see it, one, because it's Aquaman, and two, because Jason Momoa's in it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's probably going to garner attention as well from general audiences who probably aren't following the Amber Heard case and stuff like that. So they're just kind of, and DC's seemingly been, well, I say DC, but it also probably incorporates Warner Brothers, their whole film saga franchise, whatever, really comes down to probably what's going to make them the most money, right?
Yeah.
Because we got The Flash pushed in favor of Shazam because the first Shazam did really well. So they're probably just more going to look at the number side of things. I hate to say it, but it's probably going to have it turns out. So I figure Aquaman's probably somewhat close finished. I don't know if they've wrapped filming yet or not on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, to be fair. It's kind of been kept quiet.
Yeah.
But,
I'll be honest, the only movies I really know of, like, coming out soonish is going to be the Marvel films. Like, I don't know much about the DC side of things, but
yeah.
I don't know how much that's on me or how much it's on Warner Bros. And DC to set firm dates for things and actually stick to them.
Yeah, I think any media form is kind of like that at the moment.
Very true.
But we are so close to Doctor Strange.
We're so close. We are mere weeks away.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Me too.
That film. And then the Thor trailer was...
What a good trailer.
That was superb. That was a superb trailer. Like, it looks so good.
It looks so good. And if that's the only trailer we get for that film,
I'm happy.
I'll be happy.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't want to see another one.
Yeah. No. Like, I'm satisfied with just that going in because having personally read the God Butcher comic series, seeing that storyline unfold, I'm very excited to see where this goes.
Yeah.
I haven't read any of the Mighty Thor, but man, just that shot at the end of the trailer was enough to get me like so excited.
Oh, she is jacked. But
Jacked.
yeah, like I'm excited for it. Like, I haven't watched the last, the final trailer for Doctor Strange because I've seen enough of that film. I don't want to see anything else. I just want to watch that film because I think this is the one. I know we spoke about it a few times. I think this is the one that unlocks what's going to happen. I think this is where you could potentially get your first look at the mutants, potentially get, like, obviously there's the Illuminati's been heavily rumored in this one. There's like what's the other version of Iron Man called?
Superior Iron Man.
Superior Iron Man, that's rumored in this.
Mm.
There's oh my god. Like I cannot wait. Cannot wait.
We could get. The only concern is, like, I just don't want it to be another Age of Ultron,
Yeah.
where it's just kind of like set up. But I want to see this film for a Doctor Strange film, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to go into this and be a Doctor Strange story. Like, I'm really hoping the cameos we get will be sparse and short, the potential Illuminati scene that we saw in the trailer. Like, I hope that's a somewhat quick, maybe like end of the film thing, Like, he's been seemingly arrested for tampering with a multiverse, and this is where he is now, and that's going to conclude the film and potentially set up for maybe a Doctor Strange 3 or where we go from there. You know,
they do like to do trilogies, don't they? So unless you're Thor, and then you're going into your fourth film.
Well, let's be real. The first two were.
The first one was okay. Second one should be forgotten forever.
Yeah,
it's so strange that became such a pivotal point in Endgame. But
right. Thor really doesn't become a character until Ragnarok.
Oh yeah, that is.
Let's be honest.
It's true, and they tick that box and they go, "Oh, now we know what we're doing. Okay, we're good to go." The only
just keep Taika on, and we'll be fine.
Yeah. Who's directing Doctor Strange? Is it Sam Raimi?
It's Sam Raimi. Yeah.
That's always a worry.
It really is.
Like, because obviously the Spider-Man, yeah. Spider-Man 1, great. Spider-Man 2, okay. Spider-Man 3, it happened. But then he also did Oz the Great and Powerful. That wasn't great. Like, what else has he done? He did the remake of Poltergeist.
Really?
He did The Jungle Book in 2016. He's done a lot of horror films.
Well, yeah.
He did a lot of the Evil Dead films. But the remakes and stuff, yeah.
Would be a great choice for a Doctor Strange film, right? Like, especially in dealing with what seemed to be like what they were kind of going for to begin with, like with the nightmare stuff and everything like that. Unfortunately, it seems like that's pivoted a little bit to deal with more multiverse stuff, but again, we'll just have to see the film. Like, it...
I'm sorry, I got distracted looking at all of his films. He directed the live-action Flintstones in 1994. What else has he done? The Grudge 2. The Boogeyman. Time Cop.
Time Cop.
Yeah. Army of Darkness 2.
Yeah, that's part of the Evil Dead, so that's fine.
He did a lot of Evil Dead. He also did Hercules and Xena, the animated film. Miller's Grudge
Warrior
Free.
Princess?
Yeah, Xena, yeah. Warrior Princess. The Grudge Free. So he did a lot of the Grudge films. Yeah, he's done some weird films. Anyway, yeah, I'm just really excited for that.
Me too.
Like I'm cautiously optimistic on that film.
Yeah. Which, here's the thing about like Phase 4 in general, right? Yeah. We've got some okay films out of it, and we've got some great films out of it, you know? Yeah. Like, Black Widow, I guess we can all agree, happened. Eternals happened. Yeah. But we also got like No Way Home, which is phenomenal. We've got Shang-Chi, which is really good.
But I don't think any of them are the top tier that we've had. That one where it's like, oh my god, this is one of the unmissable ones.
Right. Yeah. And I'm wondering if... Like, I feel like a lot's weighing on Doctor Strange right now. Like,
yeah, we had this conversation.
Be a massive hit or a miss. I hope it's a hit.
I think it'll be a hit, but and I was saying to you, obviously, in our last podcast, I think Doctor Strange is pivotal for Phase 4. He's kind of the face of Phase 4. So, with Wanda and stuff like that. But I wonder when we'll see good old Yelena Maximoff again.
Man,
like
from seeing what we've got coming up, probably not for a while.
Yeah.
All right.
I imagine so. I'm trying to think of might pop up in. That's a while away, but the Captain America film.
Yeah,
because that's.
That was just kind of softly announced, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's officially been announced yet. I think he just let slip in an interview. So, yeah. But anyway, that's the Marvel's in a good place. I know you've been watching Moon Knight, so
I have been watching Moon Knight.
So we'll talk about that when we talk about what we've been watching. Just trying to go through a little bit of the news. Also, did you see it's about God of War?
What about God of War?
Ragnarok devs reassure fans that it will arrive this year. The devs have said the game is definitely coming this year.
I feel like it's being optimistic, but also that game has been in development for a very long time.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out this year. It's definitely going to be holiday for sure. especially at this point. Like, what do you think? Around like Summer Games Fest, we get maybe another trailer with gameplay, or
Potentially, yeah. Like, because obviously it was the anniversary. The 4-year anniversary of the last God of War was the other last week. And Corey Barlog did a video saying we've got... I wish we had something to share. Your view, but it's not ready to be shown. So,
interesting.
but the game's still apparently coming out this year. But then if you look at what they showed it at the E3, and then it released in, was it the April? The March. So
Yeah.
that, and when you watched the documentary, that game was nowhere near ready when they showed the E3 footage.
That sounds pretty close to what we got recently, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was a state of play where we actually saw like footage of Ragnarok, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't. I don't think it was gameplay, was it? It's all taken from the same engine.
It was rough gameplay, right? It was at least in-game footage.
No, true.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be interesting to see if that game does. I think we need to see once. I think once they put a date on it, now they'll stick to it because it's obviously got moved once. So
Yeah, I mean,
I can't
especially
imagine they move it
now.
twice. But
You say that, but Cyberpunk's got moved like 7 times.
Cyberpunk should have been moved 4 more times.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But again, that's just a bad game being bad. We'll see about Ragnarok, though.
yeah, I think I can't imagine that game is going to be bad.
No. I don't see a world in which the game's bad.
No. Did you see that the PlayStation 5 is now rolling out the VRR, the variable refresh rate support?
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Me either. I would be more impressed if I knew what that is, but
Everyone's been losing their shit over it.
That sounds right.
Apparently,
Fucking
it's
nerds, am I right?
It's the refresh rate of the graphical output, so it enhances visual performance of PS5 games by minimizing or eliminating visual artifacts such as frame pacing issues and screen tearing. So basically, it makes it look prettier.
Well, there you go.
The more you know.
The more you know.
What other news has there been? It seems to be more. I feel like I'm missing something. There's a new Tales of the Borderlands coming. I don't know if you're a Borderlands fan.
There is.
But
I am kind of a Borderlands fan. I've only beat the first game. I've played a bit of the second, and that's it. Even though I own every game, and I even have Tales of the Borderlands downloaded, I might eventually get around to playing all of them at some point. We shall see.
no, other news. Sifu reveals new difficulty options.
Didn't they announce that like a while ago?
They said they were looking into it, and now they've done their roadmap for 2022. And on May the 3rd, one of the updates is difficulty options being added to the game.
Good on them.
Gears 5 had some news.
Really?
Gears 5 map builder will be removed.
Huh.
Do you ever use it?
Nope.
Okay, that's
no.
That's the end of that then.
Yeah.
What else was there? I don't think there was much else as in like gaming news that way.
Well, you see, Adam, there is a bit of news that I think you showed me not too long ago about something that's fairly relevant to something we've both played recently.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. Is this to do with Dwayne Johnson?
It does have to do with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah, let me bring that. Yeah.
Please bring that up.
Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, will executive produce the It Takes Two movie, which, according to Variety, will air on Amazon Prime. That was directly from Jeff Keighley. So, apparently there's going to be an It Takes Two movie.
Yeah, apparently there's going to be an It Takes Two movie. So
I understand that the concept. I understand that it would work in a film. It's an interesting thing. But the game is so much about actually doing the things.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to lose something there. And I would love just not The Rock not to produce it, The Rock to just be in it. Like,
Absolutely.
just,
I would love to see that.
I like to see The Rock in anything, but just to be a like knitted version of The Rock. Like,
That would be incredible. Like, we gotta hope this is like that weird splice of animated and live action, right?
yeah, but I don't think it will. I think it'll all be CGI.
I hope so.
I hope it's got that animated mix. A bit like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, because, I mean, especially something like, I mean, hell, you could take even the concept of the Lego movie, right? Where it had that pretty much full CGI for the Lego bits, but it did have, like, this, like, live action pieces in between kind of telling the broader story outside of what the Legos kind of meant, you know?
Yeah.
I would see that as making more sense, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Having myself played and finished It Takes Two, a lot of that charm of the game is exactly what you said. It's the cooperation. It's the thing that really puts the game at the forefront, you know? And because it's not that complex of a story, which granted would be more easily translated to a film. But feeling that actual cooperation as you play is what puts it on a level above, where something you can't really tell in more of a passive medium, you know?
No, you're absolutely right. And so I'll be interested to see what it looks like, but I don't know if it's the right move for a thing, but we'll see. It popped up on my thing. Ironically, it's like my computer's listening to me. Some information on Doctor Strange.
Ooh.
Do you want to hear it? It's not a spoiler. It's what they've put in the new trailer. So it is the Illuminati are officially in the film. It says Stephen Strange, the Illuminati will see you now. So,
confirming what we already know.
Confirming what we know, but it's now confirmed it's the Illuminati. So, there you go. Nothing new, but it's a new trailer. A new, short little bit of a trailer. And what's the character? Who trained him, helped train him, and not the... Oh, what was his name? Who left? Who didn't want to be part of it at the end?
Oh, Mordo?
Yeah, obviously we've seen him in the trailer anyway, but he's the one who says the Illuminati will see you now.
Interesting.
Because one of the theories is he's part of the Illuminati, isn't it? He's one of the people on the council.
Yeah, I think, because I watch trailer breakdowns every now and then, right? Again, right? I think someone had pointed out, his silhouette in that first kind of trailer we see the Illuminati in, so not, wild to believe, but hey.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Well, you have no choice to be in.
No, yeah, I'm a Marvel fan.
Exactly.
Can't back out now.
You're in. Also, we have to mention it just because, just in honor of Terry, there is a new Sonic game, Sonic Origins, which has all of the original Sonic games in it, I believe. All in one place.
When they say all, what is...
All of the good ones.
How many...
All the classic Sonic games. So you get Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles, as well as Sonic CD.
Okay.
And...
yeah, still probably not going to play it, but...
No, but you know who is going to be playing that one, obviously.
Yep.
So Mr. Terry Jeffs will be playing that. But I can't think of any news off the top of my head. I think it's time to talk about what have you been playing and what have you been watching.
Love it.
So, Vince, what have you been playing?
Oh, man, not a whole lot.
Oh.
I've just been mostly a lot of my time has been dedicated to just watching stuff pretty much just watching stuff.
A lot of stuff to watch.
A lot of stuff to watch. A lot of stuff going on this season. Like, I mean, I've spoke endlessly about Atlanta,
Yeah.
Halo, which I'll get to Halo a little bit. Moon Knight. I mean, may as well just start with Moon Knight. You're obviously still not watching it, waiting for the last couple episodes to air. Then you're gonna power through the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you've seen the buzz about the end of episode 4. It's really good. It's awesome. Can't wait for the next episode. I feel like a lot of people have been down on the show, and I don't know exactly why. I mean, I get, it may not be hitting for a lot of people, which, I mean, it's just like Marvel in general, right? Not everything's going to hit for every single person, but I don't know. I'm really enjoying Moon Knight. Out of the few well, I'd rather say out of the 3 things I've been watching like week to week, it's been up there with like, I can't wait for Wednesday for the new episode so I can sit down and see what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Similar to like Atlanta in that vein. Like every Saturday, I should say, because it airs on regular TV Friday and then gets added to Hulu on Saturday. I'm just like, okay, it's Saturday. It's the day for Atlanta. We got to sit down and watch this right now. And I'll just move on to Atlanta. Holy shit, this season's so good. Like, I feel like every episode I've said that, and it just continues to hit. There has not been an episode where I was like, yeah, that was okay. It's always just been, shit, that was good. Or, holy fuck, they actually said this. And, like, man, I'll give it to Lakeith Stanfield in this episode.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like, his arc in this episode was phenomenal. And at the end of his particular arc in this episode, it really just like hit so hard on an emotional level. Man, if you're not watching Atlanta, you're doing something wrong. It's such a phenomenal show. You gotta find a way to watch this show.
Like, it's just that time, like,
yeah,
it's fine. Like, and there's, like, I'm trying to get through something that we're going to talk about anyway, but we'll come to that. So, okay, so that's Atlanta.
That's Atlanta.
Are you watching Moon Knight still?
Still watching Moon Knight. Moon Knight's very good.
How many are left on that now? There can only be like, what, 1? Maybe 2?
2 episodes. I think it's 6 episodes in total. We just had episode 4.
So very good. So far in the spectrum of all the TV shows, because I think you've seen all of them now.
Yep.
Yeah. Where would you put it?
Oh, man. It's so hard to rank all of them because they're all such different...
Higher than Loki?
Types? Higher than Loki? Absolutely not.
Okay.
Like, Loki, I think, is the pinnacle of what Marvel TV has done so far.
I don't know. WandaVision was very good.
WandaVision was very good. I'd maybe put it below WandaVision, but absolutely above, like, Falcon and Winter Soldier, above What If, because What If is the
standalone as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's for sure the weak point. Can't forget Hawkeye, though, but...
Hawkeye was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Hawkeye was really good.
But the fact that we both forgot about it, kind of...
It's a shame, but I really enjoyed Hawkeye for various reasons. It might be above Hawkeye for me. I don't know, it might be equal to Hawkeye for me. Like, it wasn't like... I don't want to say it's not blowing me away because... Especially with the end of episode 4, what they did was phenomenal. And I'm just waiting for episode 5 to see if it turns out to be a letdown or if it kind of continues what they're doing with it. We'll see. We'll see, right? Like, it's such a interesting moment. And I'm trying to avoid spoilers so much. Yeah. But it's such an interesting moment that could lead somewhere or it could lead nowhere, you know? And I'm hoping it's more of the lead somewhere thing than nowhere. But we'll see. Again, 2 episodes left. Still really enjoying it. Can't wait for the next episode.
Okay. Just some breaking news, by the way.
Yeah, breaking news.
Justin Lin is to part ways as director of Fast X.
Really?
Yeah. So, there you go.
Interesting.
I don't know if you're a Fast and Furious fan. If you are, then new director coming in for Fast 10 or Fast X, whatever they're calling it.
Probably just Fast X.
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyway. 2 more things to get through
Keep
that
going.
I've been watching. I may as well talk about Halo, right? I mean, those have been the big 3 that I've been talking about like week to week. So let's get to Halo.
Let's go.
Man, this is half of a good show. I feel like I've said that so many times though. Like there's so much of the story that they're finally introducing and it's actually been really good. Like, I mean, you're not watching it. I'll just say spoilers for Halo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Up top, just so I can get into it. So they finally hit the plot point, or the plot point has finally been revealed that all the original Spartan 2s were kidnapped and then indoctrinated into the military. That's finally they got there. Finally they did it. Interested to see the fallout of how it's revealed, because it's basically revealed to Master Chief, who did not know any of this happened. So it's going to create some interesting conflict between him and Dr. Halsey.
I imagine.
I would like to see how that's going to play out, especially since we got a more humanized Master Chief in this, I guess. Yeah. Because apparently there's, at least in the show, I don't remember explicitly from the books whether it's actual lore or not, but there's a pellet embedded in his spine that's supposed to suppress emotions. He removes that, starts going, or being more human, expressing his emotions, starts feeling things for once, and actually a pretty great scene of him walking out, like, of the military base, like exploring all of Reach, around all of the planet Reach, and seeing how people are interacting with each other. There's this great moment where he walks down to like one of these outside concerts and music is playing, and you see his expressions of like, this is the first time he's actually like heard music, like he's actually been moved by music. It's a really good scene. Like, again, this is half of a really good show.
Yeah.
But
the other
where
half.
kind of the other half is, it really struggles with me to watch this show sometimes, because it has so many good ideas and implements them in very interesting ways. The other half of me is that Halo fan digging at the back of my head saying, this is just not right. Why are they doing this? How are they treating this character this way? And I don't care about a third of the plot. It, like, they finally introduced Cortana, right? In like episode 2 or 3, episode 3. Whatever. I've lost count of how many episodes it's been. But yeah, they finally introduced Cortana as not a partner, but more of a way to control Master Chief, which is just kind of wrong on so many levels.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you've played Halo Infinite, you know that Master Chief and Cortana had shared this bond together. They were partners. Like, spoilers for Halo Infinite, like the weapon who turns out to be Cortana, just with her memories of Chief wiped.
Yeah.
You see their interplay, right? Like, you see how much of partners they can be.
Which, by the way, just before on to that,
yeah,
the most obvious plot twist ever.
Right.
Sorry, continue.
Absolutely. Yeah. But they treat Cortana in this as Like, there's literally a moment in the most recent episode, again, I forget which episode we're on, where she shuts down his neural system because he's about to attack Dr. Halsey because of the revelation, right? So, again, it's not playing into the dynamic that they are actually partners, which you, after that whole shutting down his neural system thing, the Covenant attack, and they start working as partners where she's pointing out enemies and shit, which then leads to the most cheesiest fucking line in the whole goddamn show. And this is a show full of not great dialogue, where Master Chief literally says, "I know how the game is played."
Oh.
And I was like,
no.
No thanks. No thanks. Maybe redo that. Maybe make a second pass of the script, please.
That should have been kept in.
Yeah. It shouldn't have been. So it really seems like they're trying to balance Cortana as an antagonist and a partner, and it's just not really working. Like, it at times feels like she's working against the Chief when we've really seen. I mean, any Halo fan knows that she's the companion. She is the other character in the game, right? Like, it's Chief and Cortana. Yeah. Like 343 literally stood on stage. Not even I think it was on stage when they were showing off Halo Infinite before it was released, saying Halo is about the story of Master Chief and Cortana. But we're kind of not getting that in the show, and it's almost painful for any like Halo fan. Yeah. Me specifically, I don't know how anyone else is reacting to this show because no one is talking about it on Twitter for good reason.
Yeah, I forgot the show was even on.
Yeah, it's still on. Like, there's 9 episodes this season.
Oh my God.
9. It's a lot. But again, it's finally building towards something really interesting. And it's a shame it took so long to get here. Yeah. And I haven't even mentioned the character that I absolutely hate, and which would just fuck off. Because this whole this story would be so much more interesting if you just focus on the Chief. If you just polished up the story a little bit. But then we also have to deal with this other character that I gotta feel like no one cares about. The character of Quan Ha. It's the character I've spoke previously about, who wants to lead this rebellion to free her planet. But literally the past few episodes, we've gotten people telling her, your planet's a loss, the rebellion's no more, blah, blah, blah. And in this episode, we cut to her, and it's her handcuffed to a motorcycle. We cut to this like 2 or 3 times through the episode, and it's her trying to break out of these handcuffs. Like, it breaks the flow and pacing, and it's just like, I don't care. Like, this story's not moving forward. Why are we showing it?
No, you're right. I think that is the frustration from the very few things that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And
we have we have the Chief story flowing fairly naturally, right? Like, it's the most interesting part of the show, and it's actually moving forward. Now, don't want to say I feel like I know where this is going, because if this show has proven anything to me, it's that I do not. And that's kind of part of what I like about it. Like, it's not following the canon of the shows, not the show, but the games or the books. It's setting up its own universe, which is frustrating at times, because you have key characters that are behaving not how you're used to them behaving, especially Cortana. But it kind of keeps you on your toes, that you kind of don't know the full story of what's going to happen. And that's interesting, but the way it's being executed is not. And it's frustrating. And then we have this other side story that's kind of happening, which hasn't intersected into the main story since the first 2 episodes, and now it's branched off into its own thing. Like, even like, this episode was the episode where stories converged, where we had Master Chief, we had Dr. Halsey, we had Captain Keyes and Miranda Keyes all on the same planet after this item. We also got I'm going to say villain of this season, what it seems like. The girl who is raised by the Covenant. I don't know her name because we haven't spent that much time with her, even though it's an interesting concept. We've kind of glossed over it, but whatever. We have them all converging on this one planet. We have them all here. We're setting up for the next thing. And then you have Quan Ha's story that's just kind of off to the side, doing its own thing. I feel like if this is the convergence points of the story, we don't need the other story. It's kind of a mess in that way. So, I don't know. I feel like once you reach that convergence point of any story, right? Like, that should be building towards the climax, you know?
Yeah, it's screenwriting 101.
Yeah, it feels like we're kind of not, because we still have outlying characters who aren't here.
Because they don't know what they're doing.
They really don't. It's frustrating.
This is the thing.
Man.
Like, I feel like Halo was made by people that understood Halo as he is a super soldier who has an AI who communicates with him.
Yeah.
And that's all they knew.
It really feels like
and they've learned they've learned about Halo as they've been writing the show, and they've gone, oh shit, well, we need to put this in. All right, we need to put this in. And then they put those things in and go, this doesn't make a great story. Okay, well, let's add this little bit in. Well, where's it going to end? We'll work that bit out. And then they've tied themselves in knots, and they've not streamlined it. A little bit like Game of Thrones in the final season. They put themselves in a corner and couldn't nail it. But
no.
But then you see shows that understand that their material, and you can see that a lot with the Marvel TV programs. They're streamlined, they're to the point. There isn't a huge amount of filler, apart from probably Winter Soldier. Like Captain America, what was it? Captain America and the Winter Soldier? Was that it? Falcon and the Winter Soldier? That had a bit too much filler in it. But that's the thing that I've seen with Halo, that I'm just not interested. I think The Last of Us will be a much better show.
Yeah, because Neil Druckmann's actually working on it.
For that reason,
he knows
exactly.
How to do a story. Yeah.
For once, like, Sony will be all over that. Two, Neil Druckmann, all of his games are made like films.
Right.
You know, with the cinematography style of it. So you can kind of take a scene from The Last of Us and film it.
Yeah.
Like, whereas Halo is a first-person shooter. So you have to redesign it in the case of cinematography. So I suppose it is harder to visually get it right. But
it is harder. And the thing I like that they're doing is that we haven't gotten too many action scenes. Like this last episode, we got a pretty significant action scene. We got a really bad one in the first episode where they did that thing that, like, hey, we're based off a video game where they go into first person.
Oh no!
It's awful.
No!
It's awful. Like, it literally, it's from the first person's perspective for a little bit of it. Like, it cuts to it every now and then, but it looks like a fisheye lens was used to film this segment.
No,
like that doesn't look right. It looks horrible. But this last scene we got was way better because it didn't cut to those shots. It actually let it breathe, but it's trying to tell more of a story than the games did, either to its betterment or its detriment, honestly. Because it's not necessarily better, but I feel like it's trying to provide more context to what Halo is. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out my ass in there. Maybe I'm trying to make excuses for a thing that I should like, but am not enjoying.
Listen, you still have the games.
A lot.
You know?
I still have the games.
Which they've got a little bit more on track. We'll ignore 5. And
we'll ignore 5.
They have made they have started to make amends for that monstrosity.
They really have. Infinite is a great starting place.
Yeah. What else have you been watching?
Last thing that I've also really been enjoying, something I haven't talked about because my wife and I just recently started watching it.
Okay.
It is a Hulu original show.
So I've probably not seen it.
Probably not seen it. It's called The Girl from Plainview. Plainville? Plainview.
I've heard of this.
One of those two. Yeah, it's a show that is based on a true story of something that happened back in 2014, which I actually heard about but never really followed up on. Yeah, you've seen this
I've seen
case, rather?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it has Elle Fanning in it, who I've liked watching in The Great. She's a phenomenal actress, and she needs to be in more things because she absolutely nails it in this show. So, kind of quick plot synopsis for anyone who hasn't seen it or
this was
who is
such
not
a
familiar
big
with
case. Like this was all over the internet when this happened.
Oh yeah, it was huge. Like it's funny because the only thing I knew about the show going in, because Hulu runs ads obviously, and you see like clips here and there, and the only thing, and you know when Hulu runs ads, my brain automatically checks out, and I'm on my phone looking at Twitter anyway. So I saw bits and pieces of it, like, oh, that looks interesting. And my wife's like, yeah, that looks interesting. We should watch it sometime. The only thing I knew about it was based on a true story. And literally, like, the first few seconds of the show, I was like, oh, I know exactly what this is about. Holy shit. Yeah. Right? Like, so, you know, throw trigger warnings out there for suicide, depression, self-harm, things like that. Just up top before I get into it. Because the show is about the 2014 case of
Colton
Roy
Ryan.
Conrad. Alton Ryan.
Colton Ryan's the actor, sorry, yeah, it is, you're right. It's
right,
Conrad Roy.
Conrad Roy Jr. Or the third. Conrad Roy third, yeah.
The third, yeah.
Who committed suicide in 2014. It's about him and his girlfriend who he had mostly like an online relationship with. Even
Michelle Carter.
Yeah, Michelle Carter, played by Elle Fanning. It was phenomenal. Who convinced him to go through with suicide or to complete suicide, whatever the terminology is now, because apparently they changed it. Because my wife is a therapist, so she knows all about that stuff. Anyway, yeah, it's essentially it's a true story. The show dramatized very well.
Yeah, because it was all done over text messages.
Yeah, so a lot of their conversations were text messages or phone calls.
So how are they going around that? And that's what I'm interested. How are they combating that? Are they doing it through text messages and you see them text each other, or are they having face-to-face conversations in this?
So it kind of does a little bit of both. Like, it's not until, like, the first episode is the incident. Yeah. And from there on out, throughout the rest of the show, you get flashbacks to them meeting, them texting, conversations they've had, relationships with friends, more on his, like, depression and kind of character developmental stuff, as well as proceeding through present day through, like, aftermath, the trial, yada yada yada. It kind of like dramatizes filling in those blanks a little bit with like their relationship with their parents, things like that, and kind of, you know, what's not seen behind closed doors and yada yada yada. It's very upfront that it's fictionalized and dramatized at the beginning of the show, as well as offers like support outreach at the beginning of the show and at the end of the show for people who are struggling with suicide and depression. Yeah. And again, this show it's got its hooks in me, even though I'm obviously familiar with the case. I know what happens. Like, it's almost that like macabre sense of
you need to see it through.
Yeah. And you see it through, like, I know how bad it is. I know how bad it was, and it's just interesting. Like looking at, especially the portrayals of the characters. Like Michelle is very much portrayed as somewhat sociopathic in the show, which Elle Fanning does a phenomenal job of. Like, there's a scene in one of the episodes where she is rehearsing lines from Glee, of all shows, in the mirror.
Yeah.
And she goes from, like, this sobbing, like, crying to, once she's done, like, this straight face, smile on her face. And it's just
that'll
fucked up. And God, she plays it so well that I'm just like, fuck, she's amazing. She's an amazing actress, and I need to see her in more things. But yeah, it's a really, really good show, and I'm probably going to jump off this podcast when we're done, have dinner, and watch more of it. Because
how many episodes have you seen? Because there's 8 in total, isn't there?
Yeah, there's 8 in total. I think we're up to episode 5 or 6. We've only got a couple left.
5 is called Mirror Ball.
Mirror Ball. We might be up to that point. That might be the episode we're gonna start. I can't remember exactly. I haven't been paying attention to episode titles.
Well, all the titles are song titles.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that last time.
Yeah. So you've had Star-Crossed Lovers and things like that. Turtle, Never Have I Ever, Can't Fight This Feeling Anymore, Mirror Ball, Talking Is Healing, Teenage Dirtbag, and then the last episode was called Blank Spaces. All song titles.
Yeah. Oh, the texting thing. I completely glossed over that, how they're handling that. Yeah. So yeah, at the beginning you get like text messages to and from. You see it on there, like cell phones. Some shots go too fast to really read what's on there. Occasionally you'll get like real good looks at the phone. But then in a couple later episodes, like maybe 2 episodes later, when they're texting, they're actually like face to face, and you can tell the dialogue is actually like text message dialogue. Like, it feels like it's half sentences or like quick responses like okay or tell me, things like that. And my wife and I were actually wondering about this. Like, I think I brought the conversation up, like, are these actual text messages they had? Because wouldn't their text be public records since they were using a court case?
You can read the whole text exchange.
That's wild.
Yeah, you can read it all. That's how I know about the case. I remember reading through the text messages. It was a whole article, like, about him getting cold feet and trying to back out of it, and her like basically blackmailing, manipulating him into it, and asking him if he was going to do it today and stuff like that, and he would be more nonchalant about it and stuff like that. Yeah, it was a whole thing. But yeah, I don't know much about the trial side of it, but I know about the text messages and how she acted once he'd done it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll watch it. It's coming. Apparently, it's coming to Stars Play, which is actually on Disney. So.
Oh, okay.
Disney's got some shows, man.
They really do.
Right.
Especially in the UK.
Yeah, like the Stars in the UK, it is wild. But yeah, is that everything?
That's everything. But yeah, I mean, I've been playing through the Halo games because last week, I remember saying, not last week, we took a week off. Last podcast we had, I've been playing through the Halo games to rinse the taste of the Halo show out of my mouth. I'm up to Halo 2. Fantastic game. Anyway, what you been playing or watching, Adam?
Playing, not so much playing. I've been I started playing through Skyrim, obviously. I wanted to go and do that, and man, that game is buggy.
Oh yeah,
really buggy on the PC and stuff like that. So I've had to use console commands to actually get past parts because it just breaks.
You'd think with all the re-releases they patch some out.
No, they do not. They do not. But
shocking.
So there's not a huge amount that I've been playing. I am tempted to jump into Lost Legacy and Uncharted 4.
Yeah, because it recently got released for PS5, right?
It did, yeah. Like, you got that collection, and so it's that itch is starting to form. I know I need to play Horizon, but my worry is where I'm at in the game, I won't remember how to play or
That's
what I'm
always
doing
the worry,
because there's
right?
been such a big gap. Because then we had Elden Ring, and and that whole chestnut. So I think I don't know. I need to work out where I go next, but I can tell you what I've been watching.
I'm very excited for this.
I know
Because
you
the
are.
last time you were watching Peacemaker,
And I have
you
still
always
been
say the
watching
first
Peacemaker.
episode.
Like I'm
Yes.
not finished yet because I
Okay.
have to pick and choose when I can watch it because it's not something I can watch on the go because it has to be on the TV. So I'm looking at the episodes now and I'm trying to see which one I've just watched. You've seen them all, so spoilers if you haven't seen Peacemaker. I'm not very good with the names of the characters. So
Okay.
I think I've just watched the episode. Nope, that's not true. I've watched the one after that. It's the one where the butterflies take over the police station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that episode, and then when they do the police do the news press conference at the end, basically saying that Peacemaker is suspect number one for everything going on.
Okay. So you're at the tail end of it.
Yeah. I think I've got like 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like Mern obviously being a butterfly and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's really good.
It's really good.
So
right?
good. Like so good. Like it's almost perfectly done.
Right.
Like every character is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, there's some things like Adebayo is a bit up and down. Like
Right.
I know there's going to be we're going to find out a little bit more. She's going to obviously she planted the diary. We know that's come from obviously Thingy. That she was told to do that.
Yep.
So, but what? Like she's still doing it. What's the beef there? Why is she doing everything she says? Like
Right.
I'm hoping we find out some more about that, but I'm not too bothered. But at the end of the day, it's just so funny.
It is.
First of all, like
Yeah.
John Cena deserves a fucking Oscar for this show because he is just so believable as Peacemaker. Like he is the perfect casting. The absolute
good.
perfect casting for this.
Man, I remember thinking like, okay, Peacemaker from the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Not my favorite character. How's this show going to play out? And after seeing, from the get go, right? It was like, holy shit, okay. And then continuing down like his whole story about like the brother's death, like how abusive his father was, and seeing like how it shaped Peacemaker to be who he was, and the fact that he does kind of want to change like who he is. He wants to actually be a good person. It's just so well done. I feel like James Gunn nailed it out of the park with, casting John Cena, and he's done a phenomenal job directing him and putting in his comedic timing, and like he knows Cena's strengths.
Yeah.
And it just balances out into like a perfect mix to where he literally took a character similar like what he did with Guardians, right?
Yeah.
He took a character he kind of really didn't give a shit about and made him
Like Drax is
amazing.
the prime example here. He has a great touch with wrestlers. Like he made Drax, which is a pretty rudimentary character, and made him probably the funniest character in Guardians.
For sure.
Like, and how serious he is about himself, and you can see that it's the very similar Drax and Peacemaker in similar ways. Like, and obviously very different in others. But oh man, it's just so good. Like one of the bits I was laughing at, even though it was trying to be a serious scene by the end of it, is it was in the last episode where he goes to the school, like, and does like the career advice talk, and he's giving all the kids nicknames. Like Like he's just giving them all nicknames, really insulting nicknames. That it's just how he kept a straight face for some of it. Or him and Economist, like their back and forth, dye beard and stuff like that. And it comes out with a fucking chainsaw and cuts the gorilla in half. Like,
what a great moment, though.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. And Eagly is just a great character as well. Like, the scene that obviously when they're escaping from the police and what's he called? What is his name? His friend, psychic.
Vigilante.
Vigilante, that's it. When Vigilante shoots one of them, and Peacemaker's like, no, we don't kill them. They're cops. At the same time as Eagly is just ripping these cops to shreds, like pecking out their eyes. Like, Eagly's just so good in it. Like,
so good.
Like, for a CGI eagle, like, it's you care,
and not even like a main character. Well, to an extent, yeah. For like a CGI sidekick, phenomenal.
Yeah, really,
so
really good. Like, and I'm absolutely loving it. I try and watch an episode like whenever I can. But the soundtrack's incredible.
It's so good.
It's such a good and that intro, man. Like, do you know what? I can skip through it. I can fast forward, but do I? No. I just watched their stone cold faces do the world's most ridiculous dance.
Right.
Like, and then obviously his dad, like White Dragon, like every time he's in a scene, and I know there's supposed to be some serious scenes, I just laugh at his hair. Like, because his hair is ridiculous.
What? It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And Vigilante's character is incredible.
Oh, so good.
So fucked up. But
so fucked up. Like, that, oh man, the assassination scene alone.
Yeah.
Was like, you get the sense of, oh, this character is actually enjoying killing people.
Yeah.
Like, he has no problems with it. It's,
like, what is it he says when he goes into the prison when he's on his way to kill his dad? Like, and he sits down with basically the KKK and says, "Okay, should we go around and pick who our favorite black person is?" It just sits there, like, oh, he's so good, and
he's so good.
the way he goes on about his little toe for like a whole episode, like. Like, it's really good. Don't get me wrong. One thing I don't like is the butterflies are a very underwhelming enemy. Like,
it is.
Once you see them, you're like, oh, okay. Like, it's interesting that they take over. Like, that weird tongue coming out of their mouth is quite cool. But, it was a and
you can't even talk about the butterflies without talking about the PowerPoint presentation.
The PowerPoint presentation is incredible. Like,
skilled work.
The little explosion sounds and stuff like that, and just Peacemaker just ripping into it, like
tearing him to pieces. Oh man,
Judo Master was interesting as well.
Judo Master was
just eating their Cheetos.
Yeah, just eating the flaming hot Cheetos all the time. Every time you see him.
Yeah, it's been a lot of, like, I'm really, really enjoying it. I don't know how it ends. I don't know what's been said. I don't know if there's a possibility of a second season, but I hope there is. Like,
I hope so too.
So, like, because it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Or just do.
I can't wait for you to finish it.
I think I've got 2 episodes left. So I'll definitely be finished by next time we speak. Anyway,
like, there's some stuff coming up that's very James Gunn.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but it's definitely a James Gunn move. So
I'm looking forward to it.
You'll see. Yeah.
I think I'll probably get an episode in tomorrow, and then maybe Friday. So hopefully I'll be finished by Friday. Might even be able to sneak 2 in. But yeah. Loving it. Like, it's probably of all superhero TV programs that we've had recently, all the Marvel and all of that, it's probably top 3. And
Top 3.
Yeah, I'd say WandaVision, Loki, and Peacemaker. And it could be number 1.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where you land once you finish it.
Yeah.
Because for me, it is the best. Like, I can't... Man. It's almost... As much as I love Loki and WandaVision,
Yeah.
this show kind of outshines them a little bit. I can't wait for the last couple episodes. I almost need you to, like, live tweet it, live message it as you watch it, because... so good. Anyway.
I will send, as soon as I have watched them, I will send you a message. Once it's finished, I'll give you my reaction. But yeah, so far it's up there. I think the only thing that drops it below like WandaVision came straight after Endgame. It was the next bit of stuff, and it was working out. There seemed to be a lot more on the line with Endgame, with Wanda. So Loki was just a really cool the way that it was done, but Peacemaker is definitely my sort of program, and my sort of humor. I absolutely love it. But man, I want to go watch it now, but I can't because it's 12:15. But yeah, so yeah, well, on that note, I'm gonna go to bed and hopefully get a break for my lunch tomorrow where I can chuck in an episode.
You're gonna want it.
Oh, I will. But Vince, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today.
Oh, of course. It's always a pleasure. Never a chore.
Never a chore indeed. And just a reminder to you guys that you can catch us for the rest of the week. I will be live streaming tomorrow around 10:15 UK time, GMT, after the football over here. And then Thursday, it'll either be myself or it'll be me and Vince, if we can work it out, to play It Takes Two. And then Friday, I'll be streaming again. No stream on Saturday. I'll be back on Sunday. And then next week, Vince, there could be a trio.
I'm excited. It'd be great to hear from Terry again.
Be great. I forgot what he looks like. Forgot what he sounds like.
Yeah. But can't wait to hear about retro video games again.
That he hasn't had time to play any of them.
Yeah, probably not.
So, yeah, I'll look forward to that. But as always, to everybody, thank you for watching and stay shifty.